NBC Sports presents the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Houston Oilers from the Astrodome. Brought to you by Chrysler Plymouth Dealers, who invite you to buy or lease the 1977 Volare, the small car with the accent on comfort. And by Schlitz Light Beer. It took Schlitz to bring the taste to life. Hi, everybody. Kurt Gowdy and John Brody here on the floor of the Astrodome. 5 weekends after the NFL season started, the Pittsburgh Steelers were like a mighty wounded gladiator who had been beaten down, bloody but still breathing with a hope of life. Then the Steelers started to gain their resources again and came on to win 8 games in a row. And now the Warriors back at full strength. With a victory today, the Steelers could go on to the playoffs and a chance to become the first team to ever win 3 Super Bowls in a row.
Last Monday night, I watched Oakland give us a chance to get into the playoffs with my wife and friends from the neighborhood.
Last Monday night, I was nervously making plans either to be in California for Christmas or enjoying the sunshine of California on January 9th in the Super Bowl.
Coach No gave us an 11 o'clock curfew Monday night. I watched the game until 10:59, turned the TV off, went upstairs, and went to bed.
Hang in a while. Just.
What was I doing Monday night when Cincinnati and Oakland played? Well, first of all, I was in trying to get as warm as I could get, and I was pulling for Oakland because it would have put us in a position where we could have wrapped it up today by playing Houston, and I think that's what we're going to do.
Last Monday night, I was home with my lovely wife, JoJo, watching my favorite team play, the Oakland Raiders, hoping they'd upset Cincinnati, and they did.
The AFC divisional playoffs begin next Saturday when Oakland hosts either Baltimore or New England at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. If Baltimore beats Buffalo tomorrow, then it will be New England playing at Oakland. And the only team that Oakland lost to this year has been New England, and lost by a big score. Then Sunday, December 19th, the Colts or the Patriots, whichever wins the Eastern Division round, will entertain either Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, or Cleveland on Sunday. Flags are down as Rocky Flyer fumbles the ball. It's recovered by Pittsburgh on their 42, and we had a flag down. Popping on that ball was Randy Grossman, the tight end. I think the playoffs this year, the 4 first playoff games, John, are all going to be booked about as even as you can book it.
Well, when you take a look at the 4 teams that are in contention to play, well, actually there's 5 or 6 now. They're all of very, very equal talent, and because someone's a runner-up doesn't put them in second-class territory.
No way. Shot done back deep, or the old single wing almost, this one is. Pastorini waiting on his 10-yard line for the direct snap. Looks the field over. Fires to the sideline. Billy Johnson. Johnson has the ball on his 31. And that'll be a first down for the Oilers. White Shoes brings the helmet on with him.
Pastorini just fired that ball about as well as it could be thrown. And there are some pluses to that shotgun. I was never very able to use it.
All right, you played in it. What are the pluses?
Well, the pluses weren't for me. I mean, you can see a little more of the field. You can get the ball to your wide receivers on either side without committing yourself. We'll get into it a little later. There's several pluses. For me, there were a few minuses.
That's John Brody, who's played in just about every system there is. With Stanford and the 49ers. Here's a bomb. Johnson lost the ball. He had it and lost it with Mike Wagner on him. A very difficult catch. He thought he should have had it. He's disappointed, but a marvelous effort by White Shoes Johnson.
And I'm very impressed with the offensive line of Houston in this situation. They gave him plenty of time to throw the ball down the field. Let's take a look. Here, this pattern takes a long time to develop. You got Billy White Shoes Johnson faking a turn, going right by the free safety. The ball is put right on the money. It's a tough catch because he has to reach back. It looks like it's right directly at his helmet, and that's a pretty tough position to have to catch the ball, but he can catch a lot of those.
And after that long gallop, they take Billy Johnson out and put Earl Thomas in. Second down, 10. Houston going to the air now. Trying to open up the Bonnet Steeler defense. No score with 3:54 to play. Oh, that a belt. White came in there and really gave a belt to Fred Willis. Willis relocating 3 neck vertebrae. That's charged against Houston, illegal procedure. White went on a false start in the Houston line. He was just doing his job. Back on the 26 of Houston now, and a second down, 15. Awfully quiet today. There's Mike Kruzek.
Let's take a look at Dan Pastorini. Here he goes. He's the one that creates the false start. This is not legal. He can't get out of there before the ball comes.
Second down, 15. Holman to the 30. Plows forward to the 33-yard line of Houston. He's tripped up by Jack Ham. This game we probably have. You know, to say the best in sports, bring 1,000 arguments. We're going to have a quick huddle here. But the best outside linebackers are on this field today. Jack Ham and Robert Brazil, probably. Here's a little quick toss, intercepted by Mel Blunt. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, still going, and finally stopped. There's the big break of the ball game. That was a peculiar pass, a little lob just thrown up for grabs, and Blunt intercepted.
That's what you call a gimme, Kurt. You don't get many of those. I'm sure the most surprised man in the house is Blunt. Now, what Pastorini is trying to do is hit his tight end, running just a little sneak play right down the line of scrimmage. However, he threw it going off his back feet. Foot never really had control of his own balance. Put the ball up for grabs, and Blunt took advantage of it.
Phillips happy with that one. Blunt picked it off of the Houston 42 and ran it to the Houston 13. Time shows 3 minutes, 6 seconds. In the first half, no score. Swan coming at you, 88. In the slide alongside of him is Frank Lewis, 43. Bradshaw spreads them out. Passes. Great grab by Swan for the touchdown. Lynn Swan, out of nowhere, took that one.
Well, he knew where he was, but nobody else knew where he was. He came in, cut right under somebody clearing out. Let's take a look at Lynn Swan. You see him he's coming on right down on Stenrick. He cuts underneath him, and when he does, the ball is in the air. Actually, there are two Houston defenders waiting to pick it off. I think they were talking to one another about which one was going to take it. However, he cut right in front of the two of them. Actually, there's three there, and slipped it on into the end zone.
Mr. Magic doing his tricks again as he did in the Super Bowl last January. Hurt all year. He had 5 catches last week, 5 the week before. That's his 3rd touchdown pass of the year. He had 11 last year. He had an off year this year. The low snap, Gorilla's kick is good, and the Steelers are first on the board here in the Houston Astrodome. On the 11-yard line of Houston, 1st and 10 for the Steelers. They're already ahead 7-0. They're threatening again now, shooting for their 9th victory in a row. Franco, back he goes. Bradshaw blocking for him at the 10. And he's in there. What a run. Franco Harris made that one on his own. He was sealed completely on the right side. He said, let's go another way, and he did it for the touchdown.
That's about as long a 10-yard run as you're ever going to see, Kurt. He must have covered 65 or 70 yards. He goes out to his right, and again, it's all covered up. Curly Cope's in great pursuit. Elvin Massey's right behind him. However, Bradshaw made the key block. He shut off all the pursuit on the other side. We may be able to see it as he comes into your picture. The man is throwing the block. That's Terry Bradshaw on his back, but he has cut off all the pursuers, and that's allowed Franco to score. 75 yards to Franco. Steelers are on top now, 13-0. Roy Gorilla's kick from the hole to Walden is good, and the Steelers strike first in the second half. Timeout with the score. Pittsburgh 14 and Houston nothing.
Catch Steve Grogan and the New England Patriots in action when NBC Sports brings you all the excitement of the AFC playoffs next Saturday and Sunday afternoons on NBC. In action when NBC Sports brings you all the excitement of the AFC playoffs next Saturday and Sunday afternoons on NBC.
Second down 5, Houston trailing 14-0. We're in the last 2 minutes of the 3rd period. Steeler fans getting ready to celebrate perhaps another playoff entry. Here's an flanker around to Billy Johnson. He's caught from behind at the 20-yard line, and he's caught by Jack Ham. What a smart linebacker he is.
You know, Kurt, they're trying to do anything they're throwing anything at him, trying to hope something will break. That time you saw Jack Ham stay home. He wasn't fooled by the play at all. He's been in pursuit when he had to be. They had a little reverse call. He was there to make the play.
The Houston fans are uneasy, booing a little bit about their offense. But let me tell you, when you go up against the Steelers, they make a lot of offenses look bad. They are on their way to their 5th shutout of the year, they're already tied to Browns with 4 shutouts. The last time 4 shutouts recorded was back in 1951. Off the shotgun, Pastorini pumped it over and nearly intercepted off the hands of Ken Burrow. Blunt nearly went for it, and Houston must kick again.
You know, Kurt, I've seen Dan Pastorini throw the ball about as well as I've ever seen him throw it today, and he's had less results from well-thrown balls than any game I've ever seen him play.
Going into today's game, only 2 teams have ever allowed fewer points in a 14-game schedule than the Steelers have permitted this year. They've allowed just 138 points. The 69 Vikings gave up only 133 points. The 75 Rams allowed 135. They've just been defense all the way. And the Gunbarks ending the 3rd period with a score of Pittsburgh 14 and Houston nothing. Pittsburgh in the lead 14-0 on the 30-yard line of Houston. Bradshaw on a rollout. Look at him go. He may make it. He is out of bounds, is he?
I think he's out about the 15-yard line, Kurt. He
Out
didn't
of bounds in the 15. You're right.
He didn't expect his interference to knock Zeke more backwards and allow him to continue on. He was ready to go out of bounds. He'd already committed himself. You don't want to take any unnecessary chances in this situation, but take a look. Here you've got Mullins, and it looked to me like it was Jim Clack, both of them getting out clean, leading the way. He steps out of bounds. He had a little bit of room, but I think he'd already committed himself to the outside.
Bradshaw trying a quarterback sneak. Don't believe he made it. Oh, he did make it. Now they signal a late touchdown. Bradshaw scored after they untangle him, and the Steelers are out in front 20-0.
And this is just the culmination of the best drive they put on all day. It's really the first one. You can see the offensive line get off on the ball. They are met. Yeah, that short yardage creates a crowd, but they have done their job. They took that ball about 65, 70 yards, and they moved it down the field running it.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.